Hassan al-Shumairi is desperate to get out of Yemen. These pills are what's keeping his wife alive. Her condition requires treatment in Egypt, but on Monday their plans were put on hold when the Saudi-led coalition imposed a complete blockade from the land, air and sea. It was in response to a ballistic missile fired into Saudi Arabia by Yemen's Houthi rebels.
Everything is hanging on this treatment. It is critical for my wife's life.
Yemen's national airline says it will resume international flights out of airports in the southern cities of Aden and Seyoun, both of which are operated by the Saudi-led coalition. But that offers little relief for Hassan and his wife. They live hundreds of kilometres away in the capital Sana'a, which is part of the 60% of territory under Houthi control. They must prepare for a dangerous and difficult journey on a road peppered with checkpoints run by both sides of the conflict. The Houthi rebels are backed by Iran and troops loyal to former President Ali Abdullah Saleh. The Saudi-led coalition of Arab nations joined the war in early 2015, launching thousands of airstrikes in support of the government. The Saudi-led coalition says it shut down Yemen's borders to stem the flow of arms to the Houthis from Iran. But the United Nations says the blockade has created even greater hardship for millions of Yemenis. Already the poorest country in the region before the war, the UN says Yemen is now in the grip of the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Around 17 million people don't have enough to eat every day. 7 million of them are on the brink of famine. More than 2.5 years of war has forced almost 3 million people from their homes and left Yemen's infrastructure in ruins. And since April, more than 2,000 people have died in the world's worst outbreak of cholera. Hospital staff working in Sana'a say things have never been this bad. Patients accommodated out on the streets and medical supplies now only trickling in.
Our sufferings have doubled. The shortage of medicine is getting worse, and what aid is given out disappears. The misery for people here is just getting worse.
The UN and aid agencies say nothing but a complete lifting of the blockade will do. Without it, they warn, Yemen could be just weeks away from the world's worst famine in decades. Mereana, Al Jazeera.